Okay, so we've got to substitute some numbers into a formula, plot some graphs, and then do some very clever stuff with it. So first off, just looking at this formula here, they don't actually ask us to substitute any negatives in. It's actually about as easy as it could get, subbing in 0 and 3. If you sub in 0, you can see just without plugging into a calculator that 0 cubed divided by 3 is going to be 0. 0 squared is 0, so all that's left for that first one is a 1. So just doing it in your head. You could do the second part in your head as well, or you could sub it into a calculator. You can see pretty easily it's going to be 1 again. Two reassuringly round numbers. Now, they've plotted 3 points for us on this graph, and we're now going to have to plot the rest of them for 4 marks. You've got to be as accurate as you can. Now, I'm not going to be able to be perfectly accurate on this iPad. I'm going to try my best in a second. But things you need to think about when plotting these to ensure you get all your marks are that you know it's a cubic. The highest power in this polynomial is a 3. It's going to be a cubic, so it's going to go up and down somehow. Not sure exactly how yet. We'll plot these points and then see. So as promised, I haven't drawn a perfect graph, but a couple of points from it to say where I would perhaps lose marks on this. Firstly, I've not really peaked. Where I've peaked, I've got 2 lines overlapping. I've missed this here. You can see this isn't a gradually changing gradient here. There's lumps in it as I go. It's probably just about good enough. But overall, the shape is good. Things that have gone well is that these are not straight lines at any point, and at no point does it bounce off just like a sharp point. It's a gradual curve of the gradient reaching 0 at one point and then going back up again. Right, where this starts getting a little bit more tricky, or at least more interesting, is solving equations using the graph we've got here. So we have the graph of y equals x cubed over 3 minus x squared plus 1. That side there, if we put y equals next to it, that's what we have drawn here. We've got to find the points where that equals 0. So essentially we're finding the points where that meets 0, these 3 points on the axis here. And I've just copied in the answers from the mark scheme there. You could have been a little bit smaller or a little bit bigger by 0.05. That's how accurate you had to be to get these. Right, the next one, however, is a lot more interesting. So this here is not the same as our equation. We're not just looking for when it equals 0. Hopefully you can spot the differences, that x there. Now, when faced with one of these, you should try and make one side equal to what your equation is. So to do that with this, I'm going to take away an x from both sides of the equation. If I do that, then I end up with, sorry about that, then I end up with x cubed over 3 minus x squared plus 1 on the left-hand side and negative x on the right-hand side. So this here, if we set y equal to that, is the equation of our green curve above. And so what we should do is set this equal to y as well to plot a graph. That might not make much sense. Let me try it again. I should try and plot the graph of y equals minus x. And when I've got the graph of y equals minus x and the graph of y equals x cubed over 3 minus x squared plus 1, then it's just where they meet. So I'm going to grab a ruler tool and do that now. So we can see on here now there's one point where those two graphs meet, which is here. And what we're looking for is the value of x. I'll just undo that. What we're looking for is the value of x. And drawing a line down from there, we can see that to get x, I need to go, that's not very good, down to there. Now the answer to the mark scheme is negative 0.59. Again, you're allowed plus or minus 0.05 on that. So next part of the question tells us that we can draw two tangents that are parallel to the x-axis. So parallel to the x-axis means they're going to have to be horizontal. You can see the 2 points where the graph is horizontal are here and here. So we're going to have to draw two horizontal lines going through those 2 points. So now we can see these two. They're both horizontal lines, so their equations are both going to be of the form y equals. I'm going to pull off the mark scheme again rather than my terribly drawn graph here. But this top one has an equation y equals 1, and this bottom one y equals negative 0.33. Again, some flexibility allowed on that. And I'll just copy them down into the answer box here. Final part of this lengthy question asks us to find the smallest possible value of y when x is between 0 and 3. So we're going to have to look at our graph. So x is between 0 and 3. That means we're exclusively looking at this part of the graph. And we're looking for where that has the lowest possible value of y, so where it's at its minimum. So that's clearly this point here, and so it should match with the the answer from the previous question there, negative 0.03. So that should be the lowest your graph can go.